Your problem feels enormous right now. The unpaid bill, the argument replaying in your head, the thing you said that you cannot take back. It sits on your chest like a stone, and it feels permanent, total, the only thing in the universe. But what if I told you that 2,000 years ago, a man with far more on his shoulders than you discovered a way to make that stone vanish in seconds? Not by ignoring it, not by pretending, by doing something stranger. He learned to leave his own body. And the question that should keep you here is this: where exactly did he go? Picture a tent on the edge of the known world. It is night. The year is around 170 after Christ. Outside, the Danube River runs black and cold through the German frontier, and beyond it wait tribes that want Rome dead. Inside the tent, a single oil lamp burns. A man sits hunched over a small writing surface, and his hands are not steady. This man is the most powerful human being alive. His name is Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, ruler of perhaps a third of all people on earth. And he is exhausted in a way that sleep cannot fix. A plague is eating his armies from the inside. His body aches with a chronic illness that never leaves him. His own people are restless. And somewhere in his mind, he already suspects that the men closest to him cannot be trusted. He has every reason on earth to panic. So why is he not panicking? Because he is doing something. Not praying, not drinking. He is writing to himself, for no one else to ever read. And what he writes is not a battle plan. It is an instruction, a trick. He tells himself to rise, to leave the tent, to climb in his mind up and up, above the lamp, above the camp, above the river, until the whole war is a smudge on a dark map. And here is what almost no one realizes about those private notes. They were never meant to comfort him with lies. They were meant to do something far more ruthless. Think about what was actually crushing him. Not the spears, not the cold. It was the size of it all inside his head. When you are inside a problem, it has no edges. It fills everything. The plague is not a plague. It is the end of the world. The betrayal is not a betrayal. It is proof that nothing is safe. Marcus understood that the mind has a cruel talent. It zooms in. It presses its face against the single worst thing until that thing becomes the entire field of vision. And you know this exactly. You have lived it. The night you lay in bed and one worry swelled until it blocked out the moon. The morning you dreaded a single conversation so badly that the whole day felt poisoned before it began. The message you stared at, afraid to send, until your thumb went numb. In those moments, your problem was not big. Your view was small. That is the secret nobody tells you. The size of your suffering is almost never about the size of the event. It is about the distance from which you are looking at it. Stand 1 inch from a candle flame and it is your whole sky. Step back and it is one light among 1,000 in a dark city. Marcus knew this. And on that frontier, with an empire shaking under him, he made a decision that sounds almost insane for a man in his position. He decided to make himself smaller, deliberately, on purpose. But to do that, he had to confront something most of us spend our entire lives running from. Here is the part that gets strange. The thing Marcus forced himself to look at was not his enemies. It was time. He would write again and again about the rivers of people who had come before him. Whole generations who had loved, feared, schemed, and worried over things that felt to them like the only things that mattered. Emperors before him, cities now buried. He reminded himself that Alexander the Great and the humble mule driver who carried Alexander's bags ended in exactly the same place. Dissolved, gone, returned to the dust. This sounds bleak. We are trained to flinch from it. But to a Stoic, it was the most liberating thought available to a human being. And to understand why, you have to feel the full weight of his situation. This was a man who could order thousands killed with a word, who owned palaces he would never see, whose face was stamped on the coins in every pocket of the empire. If anyone had reason to believe his own importance was infinite, it was him. And he refused. Night after night, he climbed out above himself and looked down at the tiny figure of the emperor, fretting in his tent. And he asked the question that dissolves anxiety like acid dissolves rust. In 100 years, who will remember this? In 1,000, the earth will keep turning. The river will keep running. The thing you are terrified of tonight will not even be a footnote. Now stop, because that question is not meant to make you feel meaningless. People hear it and recoil. They think the view from above is about despair, about nothing mattering. It is the exact opposite, and the moment you understand the reversal, you will never see your problems the same way again. Watch what actually happens in the mind when you zoom out. You are not erasing your problem, you are right-sizing it. The unpaid bill is real, but it is not the cosmos. The argument matters, but it is not the axis the universe turns on. When Marcus rose above his tent in his imagination, he did not stop being emperor. He went back down and did his duty better, with steadier hands, because the panic was gone. The view from above strips away the one thing that makes anxiety unbearable, the illusion that this moment is everything. And here is where modern science quietly catches up to a dying emperor scribbling by lamplight. Researchers today study a feeling they call awe, the sensation you get standing under a sky full of stars, or at the edge of the ocean, or looking down from an airplane window at a city reduced to circuit board lights. And they have measured what awe does to the brain. It shrinks something psychologists call the self. In that expanded state, activity changes in the brain's default mode network, the very system responsible for that endless looping inner voice, the one that chews on your worries at 3 in the morning. Awe quiets it. People who feel awe report lower stress. They become more patient, more generous. They literally feel they have more time. Astronauts who see the whole Earth from space describe a permanent shift they call the overview effect. Borders vanish, conflicts shrink, and the planet looks like one fragile, precious thing. They were doing by accident what Marcus did on purpose, with nothing but his mind, 1,800 years before a rocket existed. You do not need a spaceship. You do not need a mountain. You need to remember that the view is always available, and you have simply forgotten to use it. So how do you actually do it tonight when the stone is back on your chest? Here is the practice, and it is older than almost anything you believe in. Tonight, when the worry comes, and it will come, do not fight it. Do not tell yourself to calm down. Instead, rise. Close your eyes and lift your view up out of the room you are in. See yourself sitting there, small, from above. Keep going. See the roof of your building. See your street, your whole neighborhood, lit up in the dark. Rise higher. See your city, a glittering web shrinking beneath you. See the curve of the coastline. See the whole continent turning slowly into night. Millions of windows, millions of people lying awake with their own stones on their own chests, each one certain that their worry is the center of the world. Rise until you see the blue edge of the planet against the black. And from up there, find the question Marcus asked. Will this matter in 100 years? Will the river still run? Then, and this is the step people forget, come back down, slowly, back through the clouds, the coast, the city, the street, the room, into your own body. And notice, the problem is still there, but it has edges now. It has a size. It is one thing among many. In one life among billions. On one quiet night, the universe will barely register. That is not despair. That is freedom. That is the most powerful human being of the ancient world, handing you, across 2,000 years, the same tool that kept him sane on the edge of the world. So the next time your chest goes tight and the walls close in, remember, you are not trapped in the problem. You are trapped at 1 inch from the candle. Step back. The view is always there, waiting, the moment you choose to rise. Marcus left it for us on purpose, written in the dark, for no one, and somehow, for you. If this reached something quiet in you tonight, stay a while, subscribe, and let the next thought find you when you need it most.